Thank you for joining me. This is Katie Whitledge with the Beyond the Technique podcast. Today, we're going to really just share with you, don't be afraid to stand for what you want. Salon owners, this is for you. And we have a salon owner here and a returning guest. We have Jenny Jacome. You remember her from episode 332, how to launch your own education platform. And she's still rocking and rolling, but has had so many experiences since our last conversation. So I'm really excited for her to be back again. She is the owner of the Artist Collective Salon in New Jersey and the co-founder of Ace Extensions. And I even have had her in Wisconsin once to share her hair extension expertise. And she's just so cool because being in New Jersey, kind of the suite model is newer there, and she's seeing so many interesting things about people wanting commission. And this woman has now officially done all the different types of business models you can have in this industry. And today she's going to share where she's landed, why this is her vision, and why she wants to encourage salon owners really not to be afraid. And we're going to get into all the things to let go of that fear of. Without further ado, help me welcome back Jenny Jacome. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
We were together literally before crap hit the fan with COVID. You came to our salon in Wisconsin, and then it was like 2 weeks later, or something crazy like that, where
Yeah.
everything was forced to shut down. In that shutdown, you had a
You-
salon. You made some changes for your own business. Tell me a bit about, we'll start there. What have you been up to and a bit about your journey?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was in 2019 that I have the honor to go to your salon, your beautiful space, and certify some of your stylists there with our hair extensions. I mean, since then, the education, passion, and vision has just gotten stronger. And I've been able to really hone in on who I am as an educator, what that looks like for me as a mentor to other stylists, assistants, or whatever that is. Um, and I've finally been able to understand that education is my heart and soul. Like, I love working behind the chair. I love leading in a business, and I have a partner now. And what I love is that like you just said, I've been able to really dig deep in every kind of hybrid model or whatever different kind of business concept there is out there, whether it's sole proprietor, partnership, franchise partnership, suite owner, and now a regular partnership with just a regular LLC and figuring things out together from the ground up. So education has just been like really rooted for me, and coaching. So I've since 2019 been able to really solidify my coaching, my mentorship, and education part of my business. So it's been going well.
Yeah, prior to shifting to kind of a corporate or franchise model, um, were you a commission salon or were you solo? I cannot remember.
Yeah, so we were
You
Illustrated
were a
Beauty.
commission salon.
Yeah, we're a commission salon.
Yeah.
Hourly if I had assistants, and then later with the intention of transitioning them into commission.
Yeah. What didn't work about the partnership you kind of made prior to the one you have now when you're in a almost like adopting like a roll up model of being a part of somebody else's franchise? What made you decide to do that?
One of the things I was telling you before is, being afraid of people leaving, right? And I knew that Illustrated Beauty at the time was leveling up and we were growing, we were expanding education. I had built out my curriculum for my assistant program. So I wanted to be able to give my employees more. And I just questioned myself, like, what does that look like as a sole proprietor, as an individual that's trying to make it happen for her employees and give them the best benefits? And I remember my partner at the time, before she became my partner, she posted that, I'm interested in partnering with a salon that's established. Let's talk. And it I was curious, reached out and I said, what does that look like? And what do you offer? How can I level up, illustrated beauty? And that was including a back end support system, operations, everything from customer care, back end, human resource, paid time off, different things like that, different benefits that I didn't have before because we were a smaller company. And being able to go into more of a corporate salon, there's more employees across the board, so there's more benefits. So I thought to myself, this is the perfect kind of partnership. This is that next step for me to be able to focus on education in the salon, manage the salon the way I want, and grow our team and, have an amazing name that has a great reputation, that can help, with that as well. And the partners that I had were amazing and super successful at what they did, and still do to this day. And, with that partnership, I was able to really focus on the education part, training my team and getting them up and running into leaders themselves. So,
Eventually, you had a different goal, though, for yourself. And what did that look like? What made your heart shift to something new?
into that second year, I was like, oh my gosh, we're like $2 away from being $1 million salon. And I couldn't believe that that dream and that goal we had hit it, and obviously I could never do it alone. I had an incredible team that was working their tails off and, building their dreams also throughout their business behind the chair in my salon. And I realized that as people were growing, the paid time off wasn't enough for them. The benefits weren't enough for them. They wanted more flexibility. And because it was a bigger brand, what we did for one, we had to do for the other. So I didn't see the flexibility being as flexible anymore. And it started creating tension for me within my team because I wanted to give them that flexibility and didn't want to lose them. I was afraid of losing them. And that made me realize, that I wanted to focus on the education part and training them and help them build them up. But I was working behind the chair every day, managing the salon in person every day, and educating them every day. So it became heavy, and I felt like I wasn't meeting their expectations because I was doing everything, even though I had partners behind the scenes and another team behind the scenes that was handling some operations. I probably could have handled it maybe a little bit differently and delegated a little bit more, but I was there. I felt depleted. I felt tired. I was like, I want to focus on this. And I know if I continue to build this machine of just hiring more people just to have a higher quantity, I was never going to be able to focus on the heart of it. And that's the education. That's what brings the culture to the business. It's not just the numbers. A game for me, it's the quality of work that's coming out, the intention behind like what the behaviors are within the salon, that's what culture is to me. It's not just the brand name or, the things that you offer. Those are things that are add-ons, right? Or benefits to the employees. And I'm not saying it's not good to have those things, but I'm saying that for me, I realized that that wasn't why people were staying or going. They want the flexibility, they wanted the education. And I knew that I just wanted to focus on the education part. And for me, I needed to follow my heart and separate myself from the partnership and focus just on my clients, focus on my education, grow that. And if God wanted the education to really blow up and to be bigger, then I was willing and ready to know when that time would come, that I would know and have more peace. And during that time, I didn't have peace anymore. I was just now just going, 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 working, working, working. And the peace started just slipping away. The money was there, but my peace wasn't anymore. And so that for me as a business owner, this may sound ridiculous to some, but I'd rather make less and have peace and know that I'm running my business with what's true to me and what I stand for than to have to follow rules because everybody else is expected to, if that makes sense.
Well, this is a big part of the conversation, not being afraid of what you stand for. So you had a different vision. Tell us a bit about what you're doing now.
So I went into the suite. I parted my ways and
So you
re-
went solo for a little bit. You kind
yeah,
of did your own thing for
for
a little bit.
sure,
Yeah.
just under 2 years. My business partner now kind of had the same model. We realized that people were leaving because they wanted independence. They wanted to open a suite. I had an employee that left, good friend of mine. She's still a great friend of mine. And she's like, I'm going to go to a suite. I'm like, that's wonderful. If you need help, I'm here for you. Like, I'm your friend first and willing to help. And then she had kind of a similar situation. So she ended up in the suites. When we opened together, we just kind of confided in each other as friends finally. And we were able to realize that going into a suite from owning larger salons and having a team, it just wasn't the right fit for us, being in a suite. Um, and when we started kind of just talking about what happened and what we're looking to do, me focusing on the education, I was able to, in the suite, start really having classes and having more independent and private lessons for myself, for my business, and start building that up. And we both decided that it was time to do something together with the extensions and expand it. And we decided to rebrand the extensions and start from scratch. And the education part of the business was where it first started in our partnership. And then we realized like the suites were just small for us. We needed something bigger and we knew that we both could handle it. And with the experience that we've already had owning our own businesses. So I feel like now we've both matured so much in our professions individually as people, and we're both not afraid of speaking our minds to each other and putting in check what is the important thing within our business and then helping create leaders within our business. So that's where we're at right now. The Artist Collective Salon is in White House Station. We are building a team that is education first, community over competition first. We cheer each other on, we promote each other, we just speak very highly of one another. And the behaviors that Patricia and I both have, you can tell that that's what's building the culture because everybody is the same way. So, everything from shadowing each other and being there for one another, it's just so peaceful. It's just beautiful energy. And we're doing it all. We're taking it one day at a time, but doing it all.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
Is your salon a hybrid model or are you a commission salon?
So we do have a hybrid model. We would love to bring in independent artists, but that was the first mindset or goal with it, to have a hybrid model. And as we're trying to hire people, we saw that we had a suite owner that wanted to come into the space, but instead of independent or booth renter, she wanted to be commission. And so we thought that was really funny how they knew what the suite life was like. They knew what being independent meant, and they wanted to have more independence without having to pay for all the other things and the self-employment taxes and stuff. They wanted to be in a community surrounded with other artists, not fully alone, and just work on her clients there. So we find that people, maybe because they're not informed properly on what booth renter is or what a hybrid model is in New Jersey, since it is so new to New Jersey, they are kind of not backing away from it, but not as open to it. It's almost like if they want to be independent, they'll stay in the suites if they feel more comfortable in the suites and being completely independent with no community. So that's what we're finding.
Yeah. Well, What do you feel you're doing differently now in regard to not being afraid to stand up for yourself? So you've grown, you and many owners can probably relate to what you said. Like, no matter what we were offering, it was never enough. So, what has changed where you don't have fear around these things anymore?
I think that I think you had this actually not too long ago on one of your episodes. Jay Williams was talking about expectations versus people. What was the word that he used?
Agreements.
Agreements. Thank you. Um, and after I heard that, I was like, that's exactly where we shifted and where we changed our perspective, expectations versus agreements. Um, from the get go, when you're hiring your employees, the expectation needs to be set, but they have to agree to that. So, in other words, we were in the past, we would hire assistants. The tradition or culture within the beauty industry to hire an assistant is they clean for a couple years, they might shadow here or there, they don't get the hands on right away, right? I wanted to shift that. I shifted that in my other businesses where, okay, now you get to shadow. There is a specific type of model that we're going to do week by week. What you see, you're going to apply behind the chair. That seemed to work as well. However, they were still taking their time. So, what we decided to do was set a cap. We have 90 days in the first month. This is what you're going to be doing. In the second month, this is what you're expected to do. In the third month, this is where you'll be at after those first 60 days. 90 days, you'll be here. Do you agree? Do you accept that challenge? Do you accept that type of expectation from you? Where do you want to, like, where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as an assistant that's just cleaning and doing the minimal work that doesn't even have to do with hair, right? With your career? Or do you want to get right into it full force? Here are the tools. What do you what is your mindset? Where are you at? And a lot of times when you're interviewing, they get scared. They're like, well, what if I can't do it? I guarantee if you use these tools, you will be able to do it. And we've hired 3 new stylists since we put our foot down with this agreement and expectation list. And they have all been able to handle it and do what's required of them because they agreed to it. They're like, okay, I know this is what's expected of me, but I'm expecting this from myself. It's not that we're giving them these rules and standards and everything. I'm just giving you the tools, whether you're here or in another salon, that you could use to make your business grow behind the chair. There's only so much that I can do. I can't want it more than you kind of thing. I don't want to feel like I'm rambling. I'm sorry if I am, but I think it's just really important that in the beginning, from the get go, you set the standard, you let them know, like, this is how we can help you grow. Do you agree to it? If you don't agree to it, then this might not be the right fit for you. And that's okay. We did have an experience in our first couple of months where we set that standard. And because the person worked for me before, I kind of let it be a little bit more lenient because I thought that they understood what the assignment was. And it wasn't clear enough. And it had to, where I think I missed the mark was I told them the expectation, but didn't have them fully agree to, this is not what's just expected of you. You have to agree to do it. This is part of your job description, right? And I think that's where I kind of dropped the ball. So lesson learned, but when I went full on, Patricia and I were like, this is what the standard is. This is how we can create agreement, and it's working. So I think that when you think too much about what will make people comfortable as an assistant, you want them to feel uncomfortable. They have to feel uncomfortable to grow. They have to be challenged. And this is not the industry for them if they're not willing to do the work, the nitty gritty of getting out there and putting themselves out there and building their brand. to find their clients. Nothing's going to be handed to them in a silver platter, and that's what we make clear from the beginning.
Well, it sounds like you have different boundaries now
Yeah.
as well. So, who do you feel like in hindsight, like this is who I've become in light of these experiences?
Who I've become, oh man, I think I'm more unapologetic before. I in the most respectful way towards people. I used to be scared of what will people think of me if they leave. And they came at me. I'm just going to say an example. Maybe they came at me in a disrespectful way. My first instinct back then was to be emotional and to say what was on my mind. But because as an owner, I'm like, well, this was what's expected of you, like, and kind of make a sarcastic remark, thinking to myself that it might not hurt someone's feelings, but maybe I did in the past. Now I've realized that with that boundary and with accepting, like, I can't sugarcoat things, but I can't be emotional about it when I'm coming to speak to an employee. I have to have my core values. I have to hold those in place because that's what's going to kind of give me my backbone in a respectful manner, and not let them step all over me. Like, I'm not going to be afraid if you leave here and you're going to think whatever you want of me regardless if I'm sarcastic but still being respectful, or just setting my boundaries and saying straight up how it is, again in a respectful, loving way. But regardless of how I do it, people are going to have their opinions of me no matter what I do. So I just have to stay true to myself, my core values as a business owner, and make sure that my business partner and I are on the same page with everything. Um, I think that's what set it different now for me, at least this time
Yeah.
around.
Behind the scenes, I said, if you're passionate to speak to owners right now, what would you want them to know? And you were like, not be afraid that people will leave. And
Mhm.
so, what is it about salon owners that we are so afraid of that?
I mean, it could be two things. Obviously, one could be financial, right? If they haven't set up a system within their business that if somebody did leave, like, what will happen? Financially, can my business handle it? Have they prepared themselves? And most of the time, when you're a newer owner, you don't prepare yourself for when people have to leave. You kind of say, well, I have more employees now, so now I can take a step back. It's true when they say it's like more money, more problems kind of thing, more employees, more problems too, and less profit as well, because there are more responsibilities the bigger your team gets, right? So I think that the misconception, as I'm also doing salon coaching with other owners, is no matter what, even if your team is growing, even if you have a rock star stylist that's making 20 grand a month minimum, or even 13,000 a month, that doesn't mean that you're going to step away fully and not be completely submerged in your business. You need to have a plan of action that allows you to be able to provide for your business if somebody did walk out that is a higher earn ticket, earner. But then I think that we're also afraid of what they're going to say about us. And that was like my mentality back, for a while. Is, are they gonna talk badly about me as a business owner, or making sure that your conscience is clear, that you are setting the standard, that you are being respectful with your team. Um, and it's the boundaries thing. It's like we're afraid to speak our mind to not hurt other people's feelings, especially now in this time. You have to be so sensitive with everyone's emotions and how you deliver things. So um I think it's just that. I think it's, the money thing. Are you positioned, in the right place? Have you prepared for that? And then also, what are you doing to keep your community tight? And then the expectation clear, the respect clear, the core values clear. And then if somebody does leave, if they leave, with by their own choice or something happened, I mean, there's so many different scenarios. but at least you'll have a peace of mind that you were true to who you are as a business owner. And I think that's so important. I don't know if that answers your question, if I said it.
That's great. I think that we're in an era of wanting to be everything for everybody. And at some point, you have to say, what kind of business do you want to have? What does it look like? And really standing up for that vision that you have. And not every owner feels that sense of confidence right now. So I appreciate you sharing that you've moved into a space where you are confident and you have that vision and you're articulating it on a regular basis to build the type of team and culture that you want.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for owners listening, what would be some final words of encouragement for them today?
I think that, building your team just with honesty and knowing most importantly what your core values are, to me, that's everything. Um, if they understand what they are, they're going to live by that too. And you're going to bring the right kind of people into your life, into your business. Because you're going to hold a certain standard for yourself, for your business, for your team. And anything that doesn't align with that needs to go. And anything that doesn't bring you peace within your business needs to go. It's okay to question yourself like, why am I feeling this way? I don't feel comfortable with this situation right now. There's an elephant in the room. I need to go speak to this person, it's okay to do those things. And it's okay to be honest with your team too when you're having these coaching opportunities and letting them know, like, hey, I'm human, you're human. I'm feeling some sort of way. Do you feel anything like that's not clicking? Maybe it's just me. But I want to make sure that everything is clear, that there's clarity between the two of us or the team or whatever that is. Um, so I think you said it before, the confidence thing. It's knowing who you are and accepting who you are and accepting that we are human first. And then you can lead from the proper place, then core values and everything else just aligns so perfectly. And everybody feels peace then too in the business and in the space. Your clients feel it. Your clients feel everything. So yeah, I think if I can give anybody advice is that, like, listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition, follow through with what doesn't feel right and what feels great. And if it's great, celebrate it, be vocal about it. Your team will appreciate that so much. And then the last thing is the community over competition thing. I've always led in a place like that, from Illustrated Beauty to Fox and Jane to Elevated before my suite, and now to the Artist Collective Salon. Over competition is everything. If people are competing with each other within your business, that's a problem and it needs to stop. And it starts with you. It stops when you end it. So, um, yeah, I think that that's some of the things that I would say. I could say more, but that's what's in my heart.
Well, I think a lot of owners, it's going to touch their heart because it is a season of questioning. And just to have you share what you've gone through, I think will give a lot of people just more confidence to what matters most to me. And I think that's going to be the question they ask themselves after today, which is really important. So I appreciate you, my friend, for being here and sharing with everybody today.
Thank you. It was so great to catch up. I know it's been a long time, but you're amazing. And I'm so happy and proud of all you're doing and all you've accomplished within your businesses. And yeah, so you're wonderful and you're helping so many people too with your podcast. I love listening to it. So thank you.
Thank you. From one sister in Jesus to another, plus the bodybuilding. Oh my God, it's like, what else do we got in common? This is so great. Loving our husbands, our families. It's good. I really think the world of you. So thank you for your kind words. Appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us here week after week. If you appreciate this platform, please take a moment, leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening so that more people like you will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you are supported in your business. Until next time, have an awesome day and stay strong.
Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.